There's a moment we all face at some point in life, the quiet chaos when everything feels like it's slipping through our fingers, a job lost, a relationship strained, a world that moves too fast for our hearts to keep up. In these moments, emotional resilience isn't just helpful, it becomes our anchor. But where does one learn resilience in a world that rarely pauses? Surprisingly, the answer may lie not in the newest self-help trend, but in an ancient philosophy born over 2,000 years ago. Stoicism. Imagine Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, seated alone in his tent after a day of war. Surrounded by uncertainty, betrayal, and the weight of an empire, he writes quietly in his journal, not as a ruler, but as a man striving to master himself. His thoughts, later compiled as meditations, are not lofty decrees but humble reminders. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the essence of Stoicism, a steady hand guiding us through the storm. The Stoics teach us that life is unpredictable, that suffering is inevitable, but our response? That is ours, and ours alone. They encourage us to draw a firm line between what we can control, our thoughts, choices, and actions, and what we cannot, the opinions of others, the past, the randomness of fate. It's a deceptively simple idea, yet one that builds the core of emotional resilience. Picture yourself standing in the rain. You can curse the clouds, demand the sun, and shake your fist at the sky. Or you can open an umbrella, walk forward, and smile. The Stoics chose the umbrella. One of their most powerful practices was premeditatio malorum, the art of imagining difficulties before they arrive. Not to become cynical or anxious, but to prepare the mind, to train the soul. When you've already faced something in thought, its arrival in reality feels less like an ambush and more like a familiar guest. And so Stoicism doesn't promise an easy life, but it offers an unshakable mind. When we internalize its wisdom, we no longer crumble when life pushes us. We respond with grace. We bend without breaking. We act from principle, not panic. In a world of noise, Stoicism is the quiet strength within. Emotional resilience, after all, is not about never feeling pain. It's about facing pain and standing anyway. This is the secret the Stoics offer. Not just how to survive, but how to live with clarity, courage, and calm, no matter what comes. There comes a time in everyone's life when the noise becomes too much. Deadlines loom, relationships fray, plans collapse. It feels like the world spins faster than we can hold on. And in those quiet moments, when no one's watching, when even our own breath feels heavy, we ask ourselves, how do I keep going? The answer, though ancient, is profoundly relevant today. It lies in a simple, powerful philosophy called Stoicism. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending nothing hurts. It's about learning to feel deeply but wisely. It's about standing firm in the middle of life's storms, not because you're unbreakable, but because you've chosen to bend instead of break. Think of Marcus Aurelius again, not just as a Roman emperor, but as a man constantly confronting loss, betrayal, war, and the loneliness of power. Yet through it all, he turned inward. He didn't seek control over the chaos, he sought control over himself. And in that self-mastery, he found peace. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words, scribbled in the stillness of night centuries ago, still echo with truth today. Because here's what the Stoics knew. Life will not always go your way. People will disappoint you. Dreams will fall apart. And yet you can still find joy, still find purpose, still find strength, not in what happens, but in how you respond. The Stoic Resilience Blueprint. Imagine waking up each morning and asking, what is within my control today? You focus on your intentions, your mindset, your actions, and everything else. The weather, the opinions of others, random setbacks, you learn to release with grace. That's not weakness, that's freedom. The Stoics practiced something they called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. They would envision the worst-case scenario, not to dwell in fear, but to prepare the heart. If the loss came, they had already made peace with it. If pain arrived, they had already sat with it in their minds. When reality struck, they were not shattered. They were ready. There's a deep beauty in this. It teaches us that resilience is not some genetic gift. It's a practiced mindset, a trained soul. Seneca, another Stoic master, reminded us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. So often it's not what happens that breaks us, it's our fear of what might happen. Stoicism invites us to dismantle that fear, piece by piece. Modern chaos, ancient calm. Now think about today. Social media amplifies every crisis. News cycles never end. We are flooded with opinions, comparisons, distractions. The mind is rarely still. The heart is rarely heard. But what if you chose a different path? What if, like a Stoic, you learned to pause, to breathe, to act, not react? What if you could wake up tomorrow and no longer be ruled by other people's anger, or life's unpredictability, or your own inner critic? That's the promise of Stoicism, not perfection, but power, not detachment, but discipline, not emotionlessness, but emotional resilience. It's about showing up for life every day with a calm spirit and a steady gaze. It's about knowing that while the winds may howl, you are the captain of your soul. A new kind of strength, resilience, doesn't mean you never cry. It means you cry, then carry on. It doesn't mean nothing hurts. It means you don't let pain dictate your path. It means you build something stronger than comfort or convenience. You build character. So the next time life throws you into the deep, remember this. You don't need to control the ocean. You just need to learn how to sail. And the Stoics? They've already drawn you the map.